Let my dad go, and I will make you walk again.
Laughter rippled through the courtroom. "Sit down, kid," someone said. "This isn't a game show." "I'm not playing," the girl replied. "I'm telling the truth." The courtroom held its breath, the weight of judgment pressing down, the clock ticking relentlessly, connecting their fates. "Then make him dance, girl," a voice called out. "We're waiting for the show." "Skylar, please," her father begged. "Don't do this for me. Sit down." "No," she said. "You didn't steal anything. Someone set you up, and I can prove it." "Your Honor," the prosecutor said, "I ask that this child be removed. We are in a court of law, not a circus." The judge studied her for a long moment. "You have 30 seconds, he said. "Convince me. Let my dad go, and I will make you walk again." The whole courtroom went silent. Then someone laughed. A 9-year-old girl stood in the middle of the aisle, shaking, staring straight at the judge. Not at her father in handcuffs, not at the guards moving toward her, but at the judge, the man in the wheelchair. "Sit down, kid," a lawyer muttered. "This isn't a game show." "I'm not playing," she said. "I'm telling the truth." Her name was Skylar Voss. Her father was Dean Voss. And in 4 minutes, a judge was going to send him to prison for a crime he didn't commit. Everyone in that room thought Skylar was just a scared little girl having a meltdown. That was the first mistake they made. "Then make him dance, girl," a man in the back row shouted, laughing. "We're waiting for the show." "Skylar, please," Dean said from the defendant's table, his voice breaking. "Don't do this for me. Sit down." She didn't move. "No," she said. "You didn't steal anything. Someone set you up, and I can prove it." The prosecutor, a sharp-suited man named Trent Kowalski, stood fast. "Your Honor, I ask that this child be removed. We are in a court of law, not a circus." Judge Griffin Hale sat behind the bench, unmoving, unreadable. He had not walked in 11 years. Everyone in the city knew that. What they didn't know was why. "You have 30 seconds, he said quietly. "Convince me." That's when the room realized something. This girl wasn't crazy. She had a plan. "My dad taught me something," Skylar said. "Truth leaves footprints. Lies do too. On the night they say he stole money from Ironclad Holdings, he was with me at Mercy Grove Hospital. I got really sick. He held my hand all night. There are nurses. There are cameras. There are records." The room went cold. "Objection," Kowalski snapped. "This is a desperate story with no proof." "What hospital?" Judge Hale said, not a question, a demand. "Mercy Grove, Pediatric Wing, Room 4208, Skylar said. "He never let go of my hand. Not once." Judge Hale turned to the prosecutor. "Did you verify the defendant's location that night?" "The transactions were made using his login," Kowalski said. "Physical presence isn't required. He could have accessed the system remotely." "Then who was sitting at his desk?" said Jordan Reyes, the defense attorney, standing fast, because the access logs show someone physically logged into his workstation. If he was at a hospital, someone else was in that office using his computer. Silence. Judge Hale's hand tightened on the arm of his wheelchair. "This court is in recess," he said. "I want every record from Mercy Grove on my desk in 1 hour." Guards started to move Skylar toward the door. "Wait," Hale said. "Bring her water instead. Nobody humiliates a child in my courtroom." Nobody noticed the look Kowalski gave someone in the back row, a short nod, like a signal. An hour later, a nurse named Dana Kilgore sat in the witness chair, hands folded. I was on duty that night, she said. Dean Voss never left his daughter's side. Not to eat, not to sleep. He sang to her so she wouldn't be scared. I've worked 20 years in that hospital. I've never seen a father hold on that tight. Why weren't you called to testify earlier? Hale asked. I was interviewed by the police, she said. I told them everything. Then nothing. Nobody called me back. I thought maybe it didn't matter. It mattered. It mattered enormously. And somebody had made sure that testimony disappeared. This case is suspended, Hale announced. Mr. Voss, you're released to house arrest pending a full investigation. Remove the handcuffs. Skylar ran to her father and didn't let go. But this wasn't over. This was just the beginning. Somewhere across the city, in an office with the blinds shut, two men were not celebrating. You told me this case was closed, said a voice on speakerphone, calm, cold, worse than shouting. I didn't know about the hospital alibi, Kowalski said, sweating. Somebody in the investigation kept it from me. I don't care about your excuses. If Dean Voss starts asking questions, if he hires the right people, this whole thing unravels. Fix it, Trent, because if you go down, you're not going down alone. Kowalski hung up and stared at his own trembling hands. He didn't know it yet, but he had 1 week left to live. 2 days later, a court investigator named Deputy Cody Marsh knocked on Kowalski's office door with a folder in hand. Prosecutor Kowalski, we found some irregularities in the case files. Correspondence that shouldn't exist. Where did you get that? Court backup servers. Everything that touches this building system gets archived, including your private emails to Ironclad Holdings. Kowalski's face went pale. I'm going to need you to come with me. It's better to cooperate now. That night, Kowalski didn't go home. Meanwhile, Dean Voss sat in his kitchen going through boxes of old paperwork, his hands shaking. Bring me everything, he told Jordan Reyes over the phone. Medical reports, my old work files, everything from before I was arrested. What are you looking for? I need to remember. Right before they arrested me, I found something strange in a client's account. Money moving in and out with no paperwork. I asked my supervisor about it. He told me not to worry. You found something you weren't supposed to find, Reyes said slowly, and 3 weeks later, you were in handcuffs. That's when it clicked. Dean hadn't been framed by accident. He'd been framed because he asked one question too many. Judge Hale called Reyes into his chambers that same night. I need everything your client knows about corruption at Ironclad Holdings, he said. I think we just found something much bigger than one wrongful arrest. How much bigger? Hale paused. 15 years ago, I was investigating financial crimes tied to a shell company. I was in a car accident right after. Doctors said it was bad luck. I believed them for 11 years. Now I think it was sabotage. And I think the same people who put me in this chair are the ones who put Dean Voss in handcuffs. Reyes felt a chill. Then this isn't just about clearing his name. No, Hale said. This is about tearing down something that's been eating this city alive for over a decade. That night, someone broke into Dana Kilgore's house. She woke to the sound of glass breaking downstairs, grabbed her phone, and ran barefoot out the back door and into her neighbor's yard, hiding behind a shed until police arrived. 2 men, gloves, no faces she could describe. They hadn't come to rob her. They'd come to silence her. Dean got the call at 2 in the morning. He didn't wait for morning. He shook Skylar awake. We're leaving now. Dad, what's wrong? Somebody just tried to hurt the nurse who saved us. We need to warn someone we can trust. Not the police, Skylar whispered, remembering. They're the ones who hid the truth before. Then Judge Hale, Dean said. We go to him. Skylar looked at her father in the dark hallway, both of them scared, both of them still standing. You did this once already, she said quietly. You can do it again. He knelt down and held her face in his hands. Neither of them said anything else. They didn't need to. By morning, they were in Judge Hale's chambers, and the picture was getting darker by the minute. Ironclad Holdings isn't just an investment firm, Hale explained. It's a laundering operation. Politicians, a police chief, businessmen, all connected. When somebody gets too close to the truth, they don't just fire them, they destroy them. Fake evidence, ruined reputations, guaranteed convictions. That's what happened to me, Dean said. That's what happened to at least 15 people I've found so far, Hale said, and it's what happened to me. I saw something I shouldn't have, so I became a liability, and they removed the liability. Your Honor, Reyes said, stepping in, Trent Kowalski is missing. His apartment is empty. Nobody has heard from him in 2 days. Hale's jaw tightened. They're not protecting him. They're preparing to sacrifice him. 3 days later, they found Kowalski's body in the river. Officially, suicide. But the coroner found rope marks on his wrists, signs he had been forced to write something before he died. They killed him and staged it, Hale said grimly. He was the only direct link connecting them to the scheme. So it's over, Dean said. The evidence is gone. Not quite, Deputy Marsh said, stepping forward. Before he vanished, Kowalski set up an email scheduled to send automatically if he didn't cancel it within 24 hours. He never canceled it. Somewhere, a dead man's insurance policy was ticking down to zero. The morning of the final hearing, Dean knelt in front of Skylar one more time. Whatever happens in there today, he said, you already did the impossible. You saved me. Nothing that happens next can take that away. I know, Dad, she whispered. Because Judge Hale is going to do the right thing, and when he does, sometimes miracles happen. She didn't know how right she was. The courtroom was packed. Cameras, reporters, and 3 men who thought they still controlled everything, Bryce Calloway, CEO of Ironclad Holdings, Congressman Miles Draper, and Police Chief Grady Mason. This court is not just reviewing Dean Voss's case today, Judge Hale announced. We are exposing a criminal network that has destroyed lives and corrupted this city's justice system for over a decade. Your Honor, Calloway said smoothly, my company has always operated within the law. Then explain the millions moved to offshore accounts. Explain the payments to Trent Kowalski, found dead in a river 4 days ago. Explain the false evidence used to convict an innocent man. I know nothing about any of that. This is your signature, Hale said, holding up a document. Your instructions to frame Dean Voss. That could be forged. It wasn't. Hale's eyes moved to the congressman. Mr. Draper, you sponsored 3 bills that directly benefited Ironclad Holdings. In return, you received millions in donations funneled through shell companies built to launder dirty money. Legal donations, Draper snapped, within campaign finance limits. And Chief Mason, Hale continued, voice sharpening, 15 innocent people were framed under your watch. Evidence planted, witnesses silenced, investigations buried. All to protect Ironclad Holdings. Prove it, Mason barked. These are just stories. We have Nadia Brooks, Reyes said, a former Ironclad accountant who reported financial discrepancies and was falsely accused of embezzlement. 2 years in prison for a crime she never committed. Nadia stood, hands trembling. I found the truth, and they buried me for it. We have Riley Nash, Reyes continued, a journalist whose career was destroyed the moment he got close to this story. Riley nodded once, grim. And we have this, Hale said. A screen lit up in the courtroom. A grainy video played, Trent Kowalski, alone, staring into the camera. "If you're watching this," he said, voice shaking, "it means they found me. Before I go, I need the truth to survive. I did terrible things. I destroyed innocent lives because I was afraid of them. That fear is going to be the reason I die. Don't repeat my mistake. Don't let fear beat the truth. You three, Calloway, Draper, Mason, you will answer for every life you ruined." The room erupted. "Drop it!" Mason shouted, lunging toward Deputy Marsh, who held up the flash drive. "It's already been copied 50 times, Marsh said calmly. "Sit down." Calloway stood, red-faced. "You think this is just the three of us? This goes further than you can imagine. Judges, prosecutors, politicians. If we fall, we're not falling alone." "Then let everyone fall," Hale said. "Starting with you." Skylar grabbed her father's hand. "Dad, he did it. He actually did it." But Hale wasn't finished. He gripped the arms of his wheelchair, slowly shaking, and pushed himself up. He stood. The room went completely silent. 11 years ago, Hale said, voice cracking, I lost the use of my legs. But that wasn't the worst thing I lost. I lost the ability to believe in justice. I stopped fighting. I just followed paperwork and told myself that was enough. A little girl challenged me in this courtroom and told me I would walk again if I did what was right. I thought that was impossible. He took one step, then another. She wasn't talking about magic. She was talking about something deeper. When you choose truth over convenience, something in you wakes back up. He looked directly at Calloway, Draper, and Mason. You built an empire on other people's ruined lives. You thought you were untouchable. Nobody ever is. Not forever. Bryce Calloway, Miles Draper, Grady Mason, you are charged with corruption, conspiracy, evidence tampering, and the murder of Trent Kowalski. Take them into custody. You'll regret this, Draper screamed as officers dragged him out. Hale ignored him completely. He turned instead to Dean. Mr. Voss, please come forward. Dean stepped up, Skylar still gripping his hand. On behalf of this court, I owe you an apology I can never fully repay. Your name will be cleared. Your record erased. Every day you spent under this false accusation will be compensated. Then Hale knelt, on legs that hadn't worked in over a decade. So he was eye to eye with Skylar. You didn't just save your father today. You saved 15 other families. You saved me. Not just my legs, my soul. I just wanted you to do what was right, Skylar said. Because when you do what's right, good things happen, even the impossible ones. For extraordinary courage, Hale said, standing again, and for being the spark that lit justice back up when it was almost gone out, Skylar Voss, this court awards you its highest honor, the Medal of Civic Courage. Later that night, after the cameras were gone and the courthouse was empty, Dean sat with Skylar on their porch steps. You knew, he said quietly. Somehow, you just knew he'd listen. I didn't know, Skylar admitted. I just knew that somebody had to say it out loud, even if nobody believed me. Dean pulled a small cardboard box out from under the porch bench, one of the old boxes of paperwork he'd dug through days earlier. Inside, tucked beneath insurance forms, was an envelope he had never opened, old, yellowed, his late father's handwriting on the front. He hadn't had the courage to open it before. Tonight, he did. Inside was a single page, a name, a signature, a date from over 20 years ago. The same case number as Judge Hale's accident. Dean stared at it for a long time before he spoke. Skylar, he said slowly, I don't think this started with me. Some truths don't end when the verdict is read. Some of them are just getting started.